Hey, this is Simeon. You know, Audio Plug-in Deals and Sampletekk have once again joined forces to bring us a new piano bundle. And today we're going to take a look at the 5 pianos included in that bundle. Some of them we've seen before, but there are a few new ones that we're going to just have a nice playthrough, and all the links are going to be down in the description. So let's just jump right in. Thanks for joining me. So the first piano that we're going to look at is the old school upright, the Singularis. Now, Singularis, they've just mapped this out in such a way that it is a mono piano, just in the style of the recordings of the 50s. This gives you just a very upfront sound. You've got minimal controls. So let's just have some fun with this. And you can hear it's got a lot of room dialed in. I'm going to take that room out a little bit, and let's just try that again. Yeah, that's about as old school as you can get. You have a little compression here that we can dial in. And that's full. Let's take it, let's just dial it back the other direction without any. It's just got a really interesting sound, and we've got a dirt control here. So let's just, yeah. So you can, it's all of that crazy saturation. Just a little bit of dirt just adds a little personality. So that is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It just takes you back. Okay, so the next piano that we're going to look at, we're gonna hit these. We're gonna hit these pretty fast. So you can see I've got these pianos in the quick load. It makes it easy, especially when you're working with third-party libraries. And the next piano that we're going to listen to is the Simple Studio Grand, and it's based on a 6-foot, smaller grand piano. And let's just drop that in there. You know, one of the things, Sampletekk is not necessarily concerned with the type of piano or the name brand. It's more about the character that's inside of these pianos. And so let's just take a listen to the Simple Studio Grand. Yeah, you hear that nice upfront sound. Here you've got velocity response, especially with me on this SL88. You've got to really just dial that in to where it sounds, where you can get the response. So if I dial this all the way back, the SL88 has such a soft response. And I can hit it hard, and it's just not going very far. But I dial it usually up around 50% or 12 o'clock, and that usually gives me a good that's cool. And you've got different controls of the reverb. See, there's no reverb. So that's just dry. So let's click the reverb on and adjust that a little bit. Gives it a nice air to it. And let's just crank that all the way up. Very nice sound. I love just the clean recording here. You've got sympathetic resonance, and you've got a separate control for that. So when you push the pedal down, I'm going to crank this all the way up so we can actually hear the effect. Yeah. You can hear it just open up just a little bit more with that sympathetic resonance. And that means that they've sampled the piano with the pedal down, so you get the benefit of all those other strings just getting real excited. One thing about this package, the Simple Studio Grand also comes in a HALion Sonic version. And I think that is so cool that they've included this as part of that package. So here it is in the HALion Sonic interface, or HALion, or whatever you have, even the HALion Sonic SE player, which is really cool. And you can see this picture back there. That is from the developer's backyard. Per Larson is just an incredible sample designer. And so he said, that's looking out my backyard. And what an inspirational picture that is. So, you know, you've got the general controls, you've got reverb, and yeah, and then the delay, you can just kick that on. I love it. It's just so clean, so nice. And you have the ambience. You know, you've got all of the neat controls there. So if you've got HALion Sonic and the full Kontakt player, then you've got the best of both worlds there. So let's go on. All right, the next piano that we're going to look at is the White Grand Mark II. And this piano is just designed to just fit right into a mix. It's got a nice warmth to it, but it's got just a little sparkle as well. When you dig into it, yeah, listen to that. It's got 19 velocity layers. And it looks like the velocity response is set right where it needs to be. I'm gonna bump it up just a little bit more, just straight up 12 o'clock. And let's see what else we've got. And you've got the familiar controls. All of these controls should be looking familiar to you by now. And that is great because you can go right to what you want to dial in the sound that you are looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and dial up that shimmer a little bit. And let's just kind of soak it in some reverb. Very rich. So it's got a lot of power when you need it, but it's also kind of mellow too. Very dynamic, very nice and dynamic. So that's the White Grand Mark II. Let's go to the Rain piano. Here's another upright. So you've got the Singularis, which is an upright, and then the Rain piano. What Sampletek's developers told me is like they wanted this piano to sound like it was just left out in the rain for a while. And you know, it's kind of a little rainy out here. Yeah. Just old school, just really interesting, just got a lot of character. No reverb is engaged here. And you'll notice that Sampletekk, they've given you just some similar controls. So if you get used to using one of the controls, if you get used to one of the libraries, how they're laid out, then they just kind of follow along the same line. Just real gritty. It's just so cool. Okay, so that's the Rain piano. So we've got these bundles here, and you know, I'm just going to show you what an idea that I have. I really love using a tool called Unify. It is a plugin that hosts plugins and kind of helps you to combine things and bring new life to a lot of your virtual instruments. So I'm going to pull this up, but I've got Singularis here. Let me just solo that. So it gives you some idea of what you can do. Now the Rain piano is here. So the Rain piano being stereo, it's kind of out here. The Singularis is just like boom right there, and the reverb kind of gives it some little bit of ambience. Now what happens when we put them together? Here we go. So the Rain piano gives you that stereo spread, Singularis gives you that center focus. combine these two different personalities, these different textures, it just opens up a lot of new possibilities. So lots of fun there. All right, so last but not least, we are going to take a look at a new piano for me, and that is the 7C Grand, the 7Cs. I guess they call it the 7Cs Grand. So let's just take a listen to that. Yeah, the C7's been used in so many different recordings, and it's so cool to be able to have something like that here in this package. So again, you just see just a very familiar layout. I'm going to dial up that velocity response to about 12 o'clock. And this has like 94 velocity layers, and so they give you quite a bit. So let's just take a listen to this. I want to dial it up just a little bit more. I want to get a little bit more pop out of that. Yeah, that low end is just killer. Yeah, so that is just powerful. No reverb, and so let's just let's kick on that reverb a little bit and see what's going on here. So you can go from that really big, bombastic type of sound to this. Just like a perfect type of ballad piano. Now listen to that. You've got all those expressive dynamic layers in there, so. So you can go from ballad, bombastic to cinematic, and it's all right here in this latest bundle from Sampletekk and Audio Plugin Deals. Man, what a joy to share these with you. I never get tired of sharing these pianos with you. It's just always so much fun. It's just like unwrapping beautiful packages of inspiration. And thanks for joining me. Make sure you subscribe and click on those notifications. And I can't wait to see you next time.